The first filter we're going over today in our last snipe filter video of 2k23 is the dark matter cheapest filter, man. What you want to do is set your color to dark matter. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest dark matters on your console, which typically go anywhere from 6k to 7,000 MT. What I suggest is you scroll with the cheapest dark matter up just like this, so you have the best chance of seeing the invincibles, seeing the end games, man. I do recommend this filter over end game and invincible cheapest at this point because the price is so similar and you also make a lot of profit off these smaller dark matters, man. So what you want to do is refresh here with the cheapest one up. Grab any dark matter that's just a cheap one, or you're not certain that it's more expensive, for about 1200 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, man. So 4800 and below right now, since they're selling for 6k. Pick up any dark matter. If an invincible pops up, if an end game pops up, buy it for any price point on the scroll you're working and then resell for profit. Make sure you check the pricing on this filter though, because a lot of cards are more expensive, man. Before we get into the rest of the snipe filters, for the most reliable and cheapest 2k23 MT, hit up my sponsor at NBA2King.com and use code GRINDS for 5% off. The next filter we're going to go over is the invincible cheapest filter, man. Set your theme to invincible. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest invincible on your console. Typically they sell for about 9 to 9,500. These ones are literally mini snipes. I could probably pick this one up and within a couple hours, you know, sell it for 94.50 if I really wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and pass on that though. Those will sell, man. You want to scroll with the cheapest invincible up just like always, man. So you're going to refresh here, snipe any expensive invincible, man. Lamar Odom, LaMelo Ball, he's pretty cheap too, I think. That could be a snipe. I'm going to pass because I just don't know. LaMelo Ball could be expensive. Anybody that you're not certain of, man, you want to grab them for 7,000 MT and below just to make sure you get your profit. If anybody pops up, Lamar Odom, Shaq, Kobe, MJ, man, anybody you know is more expensive, buy them as quick as possible and resell for profit. And then if you're not certain, grab them for 7k and below and then check the price and sell for profit, man. The next filter we're going to go over is the endgame cheapest filter, man. Set your theme to endgame. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest endgames on your console, man. Harden is usually a little bit more expensive, but pricing has been all over the place lately, so I'm going to let these pass as well. I think at max he only sells for 11k anyways, so we'll just pass, man. What you want to do again is scroll on the cheapest endgame, man, just like this. Snipe anybody that you know is expensive. Obviously Yao, Taco, Wemby, man, Bobo, anything like that pops up, buy them. There's only a few cards that are really mid, so anybody else besides those few cards, man, you can go ahead and pick them up on this cheapest price point and you'll make a lot of MT that way. And then obviously any endgame that pops up for under 7,500 MT is a snipe as well, or about 2,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one you're scrolling on, depending on the console, man. The next filter we're going to go over is the cheapest all filter, man. Basically what I'm giving you guys now is filters that if these are the only filters you use for the rest of the year or your rest of your time on 2k23, you will make profit and have good luck. There's obviously other filters to use, but these are the top ones that I would use for the remainder of the year, man. This filter, no theme, no color, no nothing, man. You just want to scroll down, scroll your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest cards on your console, which on Xbox are selling for 1,000 MT, man. 950 if you want them to sell a little bit quicker. 850, that one will sell really quick, man. It's literally technically a snipe, I guess, but obviously I don't want it, man. It's like 20 MT profit. So you want to go ahead and find the cheapest cards. Going for 1,000, you want to bring your maximum bout down to about 700 MT is what I do, as long as the cards are going for at least 900 MT. I'll just put my max bout to 700 and just keep refreshing. Snipe absolutely anything that pops up and then search its price and resell for profit. The next filter we're going to go over is the endgame Mavericks filter, man. What you want to do is set your theme to endgame. Set your team to the Mavericks, man. You're going to scroll your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest Luka on your console. Sells for anywhere from like 19 to 21,000 MT typically. I do again suggest you scroll on the cheapest card on this filter because there are 2 other cards that you can buy that are more expensive, man. So scroll on the cheapest Luka, grab anybody else not named Luka if they pop up, and then resell for however much they go for. If Luka pops up for about 3,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one you're scrolling on, you want to go ahead and buy it. Maybe 3,500 if you want a little bit more profit. So he's going for 19.5 right now. I'd probably grab him for about 16k if he pops up. 16.5 I'd probably grab as well, just because I can't help myself. But I want to just sit here and then resell for profit, man. These team endgame filters are phenomenal. The next filter we're going to go over is the endgame Celtics filter, man. Very similar. Set your theme to endgame. Put your team to the Celtics, man, and you're going to scroll your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest Larry Bird on your console. Again, you want to scroll. There are 2 other cards, including Endgame Taco Fall, who's still over 200,000 MT at this point of the year, man. So obviously, if you see Taco, anybody not named Larry Bird, you want to buy him as quick as possible so that way you can resell for profit. And then same thing, man, if Larry Bird pops up for about 3,500 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, like 17.5 right now on Xbox. If he popped up for 17.5 and below, I will grab him and resell for profit, man. Great filter, had a lot of luck on it this, the last month or so. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Endgame Pacific filter, man. This is one of my favorites as well. Set your theme to Endgame, set your division to the Pacific, man. And you're gonna raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest card on here, man. It can vary between Kobe, Wilt, and Magic. They're all very similar prices usually. What I suggest on this filter, honestly, the only more expensive card on here that you really want to pick up on a scroll is going to be Shaq. So I typically just bring my maximum buyout down to 30,000 MT, man. The cards fluctuate a bit. Sometimes they get as low as 33K on here, like Kobe will get up for 33K. But all the time, man, if you wait your 4 hours, you can sell it for a minimum of 35,000 MT. So I put my max buyout to 30K. It's like absolutely anything that pops up, man, and then just check the price and sell for profit. This is a great filter. The next filter we're gonna go over is the center endgame filter, man. What you wanna do is set your position to center, put your theme to endgame, and again, scroll your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Hakeem on your console. You do want to scroll on this filter, man. Scroll with the cheapest Hakeem up just like this. If Hakeem pops up for about 3,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, go ahead and buy it and resell for profit. If anybody not named Hakeem pops up, they are a snipe, man. You want to buy them as quick as possible. Obviously, there's a lot of great cards you can snipe on this filter, including Yao Ming, Taco, Shaq can pop up on here, man. This is a great filter to spend some time on. Anybody not named Hakeem, pick them up and then grab Hakeem for about 30,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one. The next filter we're gonna go over is the George Mirasan Hardscope filter. I haven't touched on this one in a while, man. Set your name to George Mirasan, set your color to dark matter, and you're gonna raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest George on your console, man. Typically sells for about 40,000 MT, man. Obviously this one was just posted for 37. Not a snipe, definitely with tags, but it's definitely a little bit cheaper than usual. What I would do is bring my maximum buyout down to 32,000 MT, man. You want to give yourself plenty of room because you're going to want to post your card for around 37,000 as well, so that way you're guaranteed profit and it doesn't sit up for 2-3 hours waiting for it to sell, man. So 32K is about what I do, about 8,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, man. Just keep refreshing. If he pops up at all, buy him as quick as possible, man, and resell for profit. This filter is still great. He pops up for like 5, 6, 7K, a lot, man. So spend some time on this filter. The next filter we're gonna go over is just the hard scope filters, man. You can do this with anybody. Mirasan, Invincible Wemby, Endgame Sean Bradley, Endgame Yao Ming, Taco Fall. It doesn't matter, any card that is over 100,000 that you want to snipe, this is the way to do it, man. What you want to do is set your name to whoever you're trying to hard scope, which just means looking for one player. Set your name to Yao Ming, put your theme to Endgame or Invincible, dependent, like if it's Minute Bowl, obviously you want to do Invincible, Endgame, and you're gonna set your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing, man. If he pops up for any buyout price, you're going to see it on this filter and you're gonna buy it as quick as possible and then post it up for 100,000 starting bid and let him see how much he goes for on a bid, if I can speak. You can do this with anybody in the game, man. It doesn't matter, but usually you want to do it for cards that are over 100K so you can just get a snipe and resell for profit and get your money in 4 hours, man. The next filter we're gonna go over is the dark matter max bid 500 filter, man. What you want to do is set your color to dark matter. You're gonna put your maximum bid to 500 and you're gonna scroll your minimum buyout all the way up to 100,000 MT. This is kind of like the dark matter enable filter. However, you don't need to buy the cards because the only cards that show up on here is if they have a starting bid of 500. So you do need to know your market because a Shaq could pop up right now for 100K. That is not a snipe. A Jokic could pop up right now for 100K, not a snipe. So no, you're looking for, Sean Bradley, Yao Ming, Taco Fall, Wemby, Invincible Minute, man. Any of the cards that do sell for a bid, you want to grab them if they pop up on here. Any dark matter in the game can pop up on this filter, so it is a good option if you don't want to work endgame enabled or dark matter enabled for that matter and get some top tier snipes, man. And the last filter we're going to go over today is the 100K min bid filters, man. You can do this with center, power forward, and southwest division. So what you want to do, I like the center one. Set your position to center, put your theme to end game. You're gonna raise your minimum bid up to 100,000 so you don't have a huge long scroll. Minimum bid 100,000, set your minimum buy out to 500, man, and you're just gonna keep refreshing and scroll through whatever cards are up there. If you see somebody expensive like Yao or Taco or Sean Bradley, man, buy them as quick as possible and just keep refreshing. Like I said earlier in some other videos, you can just switch between doing the center filter just like this and switch over to power forward, where you can see endgame Wemby as well, and endgame Bobo I believe is on this filter as well. So just spend some time on here. This is if you're trying to get top tier snipes, guys. I don't know if it's technically better than just working other random budget filters, but if you're specifically looking for high-end cards, man, these are the filters that you can do it if you don't want to work in-game enabled, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, man. Like I said, this is the last snipe filter video of the year, of ever, I suppose, maybe, considering we have no auction house in 24. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. Hit that like button for me if you did. If you guys want to see the video we dropped last week, spending an hour on the endgame Pacific filter, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.